Hey everyone, welcome in. Thank you for joining me. My name is Marlene and I am with A Room to Bloom. Today I wanted to bring forth a message starting with a deck called Better Than Yesterday. And there are actually two stacks of cards this thick, but we're just going to use one stack for right now. And the first card that's actually just sitting here on the top, I just wanted to share it. It says hi. So we have somebody whose hand, they just have their hand up, right? It says smile and say hi to five strangers. Flip the script and instead of walking with your head down in your own little world, take a second and say hello. I would even take that a step further. Take a second and say hi, right? Just want to see some. Okay, and the number on here is 220 for the message. So think about how many times we pass people. Do we uh, take a moment and say hi to people, or do we stay in this small shell and that's it? Or do we, think about how many times when you do say hi to someone and they're actually pleasantly surprised. It's like an icebreaker, if you will. Um, it's something that helps people put their guard down. I think that people, yeah, I have goosebumps on both legs. People go through things in their life where, they've built up walls. And then when we have the electronics that have added to that, isolation can happen, right? And so that sincere, the words, just saying hi, how are you today, right? And it might up a nice conversation, right? And oftentimes, this is the test to do that for yourself, but you might be really surprised on how you make another person's day, right? Just simply saying hi. So if you're pretty shy, I'm shy, and so to do that, sometimes it's like, it's pushing yourself to be courageous when maybe you wouldn't always do that, right? And maybe you do it more places than others, like say where you're comfortable, but trying that in new places, right? Oh, here we are. Ooh, you are entering the Zen Zone. Create a Zen Zone in your home, a space designed and decorated with pictures, candles, and other things that intentionally give you a sense of calm. Your surroundings and environment are essential in giving you peace, right? So it could be a corner of a room, right? So maybe you have a comfortable chair, a light blanket, a place to set a drink, or to have some music playing that maybe is not your telephone, so that your phone doesn't have to be on. Maybe a CD player um, for instrumental music, or having one of those nature sound machines, or a waterfall, um, a candle, uh, or like a candle and or a soft lamp, so it helps to relax you, especially when you are overstimulated. This will really help with that. So creating a Zen zone in your home, and I also encourage that for parents to help their kids create that same space, and whether it is in their rooms, or a kid friendly Zen zone, which is kind of like, so say you have a number of kids, uh, whatever the time is that, that maybe it's a particular space, but this person's going to be there. They have this much time, and so it kind of gets divvied up, and helping everyone to honor when somebody is in that space, to allow them to be, right? And so if children can have that in their room, uh, you know creating that where it's like, when I step into Zen, I turn off the other things that distract me, right? Just coming back to myself, pulling in the fragmented self. Okay, and so here we have a candle flame. All right, what else do we have? So that helps you feel better than yesterday, right? add to your favorites. Okay, and so we have a telephone, add to your favorites. Take a picture of 5 things that make you happy and then add them to a happy things album in your phone. That's really a beautiful reminder, right? Remind yourself of what makes you happy and use it to inspire yourself when you are feeling down. So, those moments of beautiful peacefulness. So one of the things that I went today is I went out on a walk, and it was another one of those days where there were just so many feathers, and I actually brought them in. They're in the other room. I might grab them simply to share them. I took a picture of each of them as I found them, which is something I've been kind of doing because I just find it interesting as I walk and I ask for signs and messages, and then there's a feather. And then it's like, what would you like to show me? There's a feather. There's so your thoughts are heard, right? So, like, when I find feathers, it's beautiful joy, right? And it always feels like such a gift, right? And so finding those things, um, or having an intentional afternoon of finding things that make you happy and taking pictures of them. You don't have to force it, but it's like, yeah, that makes me happy. Taking that extra moment or having that in your subconscious to stop during times that make you happy and to take that picture of it, right? Okay, the next one we have is treats. And this is great. I love this. This is actually a reminder for me right now. Drop off dog or cat food at a local pet shelter, local shelter, right? For animals. So, and that's really a lovely message. I have a friend who has been working, well, I have a couple of different friends that work with fostering pets, helping get their health back in order. And, they both do such a wonderful job in helping animals. So it says, shelters are always in need of resources. You'll make an immediate impact. And I know that many of them will take like blankets, towels, of course, bowls, leashes, collars, whatever, all the things that pets need, so that they can take care of them. So that's really a lovely message, and that could be one of the things that you set out to do once a month, or whatever that is, right? Where you maybe find out um, what what's a healthy option. Oh, sorry. Anyway, what's a healthy option? I was getting a confirmation is what I heard this noise, but for them, or maybe if they're in need of anything in particular. Okay, the next one is fill the swear jar. Ooh, no swearing for the next 24 hours. Exercise self control and reserve your energy for positive people and experiences. It's really amazing when if you have developed that pattern or habit in your life, um, when you make a conscious effort to not do that, uh, you know, one, you might change to a different word. Then pretty soon you're not even saying that word, right? It would have been a way to express frustration, but then pretty soon you find yourself just very calm, and you're not even needing to do that, right? The other thing is being aware of who are you around that it's like, do others bring that out in you? Not that like they make you mad and you're doing that, but like it's just like this thing that you pick up, maybe being around them, and then having awareness of it, because when you're around people who aren't doing that and then you get around people who are, you notice it a lot. think about comedians, where there's comedians who can go their whole show and they're not swearing or cussing or anything like that, but they have great stories that really keep people laughing and in great spirits, right? But then there are comedians who do swear a lot, and but that laughter could come without that, right? Okay. What's coming to me is in the word swear. I have see, we hear. It's ear. See, we listen. And so when you think about, there's a country music song that says, I've been watching you. And I'm sorry, I don't know who wrote it or sang it, but it's about little ones who are watching. In fact, there's a line in this song where the dad has to slam his brakes on and the kid's Happy Meal goes flying or whatever, and the kid swears, right? And he says, oh, where'd you learn a word like that? And he said, I'd been watching you, right? So here it's like someone's been listening, right? So really being cognizant of that for a higher vibration, right? Raising your vibration, and not just your vibration, but the vibration in your home, where you are, in your car. I have goosebumps. Okay, let's keep going. Start listening to an audio book today. This is hands-free reading. Start listening to an audio book today. Listening to someone else read allows you to just enjoy the story and the perspective. And what I think is nice about this is, let's just say you're, I don't know, just cooking or prepping food, or you're cleaning, doing some light cleaning or dusting or whatever that is, right? Uh, it's like you're taking in a story or some type of information that might interest you, that might shift your perspective, that might raise your vibration. But also, the one thing I do want to say about this is, if you start listening to a book and you are thinking that it's, kind of in a certain vibration, if you will, and something starts shifting in that vibration, do you hang in and just keep listening to it, or do you recognize? Do you become aware? That's it, the key, awareness. Do you become aware that something has shifted in the energy of that book that is not what your intention was when you started to listen to it, right? So it depends on, if you're purchasing these and you have an investment in it. So some people will think, oh, I have invested in this, so I'm going to follow this through, right? But remember to invest in yourself, invest in your well-being, invest in your vibration, invest in your spirit, in the light that you carry, right? um, and recognize that when there's something that's not working. Think about if you've ever either had a movie playing or you've taken kids to a movie, and you thought it was whatever, one way, and then all of a sudden there was something that was like, ooh, and you're kind of like this with the kids, whoa, that's not for kids. And you might catch something one or twice, and if that's in a movie, maybe you can get through. However, if that keeps going on, what might you do? You probably aren't going to stay. So what I'm saying is, this is like your inner child stepping up and saying, you know what? That isn't good for my spirit. That isn't good for my soul. Uh, I choose to listen to lighter things. Let's not continue down that path. It's okay to reinvest in ourselves in a different way. Okay? How can I help? We have two hands coming together with a heart. Ask a coworker if there's anything that you can do to help them with today. I'm sorry, if there's anything you can help them with today. Lighten the load of someone you work with. One day they will return the favor, right? Especially like, if you know someone has a really busy schedule, or they have kids to pick up after work, but they need to get something done and it's something you can help them out with so they can get out on time. Um, that is appreciated, and that is great energy, putting that out into the universe, and understanding that that will come back to you. And you don't do it because it comes back to you. You do it because you know that you can help someone, right? You can lighten another person's load. Um, and then the laws of the universe just end up bringing back good things into your experience. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead with another one. It says adorbs. I only know one person that I ever heard say that, and I think they still say it. Ask your parents for pictures of you as a baby or a kid. You've grown so much. Take a moment to reminisce on your younger years. Adorbs. I don't know. I feel like that was something people kind of said about, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. Maybe people still say it. I'm not sure. But do you have many pictures of you as a child or a kid? And reminiscing on those younger years, because you can look at yourself, like where you are in your journey today, and you can remember the space that you were in at certain times in those photographs. In fact, those photographs could be one of your happy spaces, right? The picture of a happy things that make you happy, right? A time in your life when you knew you were happier. However, it's it's in a looking at it and saying, I remember what I felt like. I remember my level of happiness that day. I remember feeling excited because of this, or elated because of that. I remember whatever, if say it was the holidays or something, right? The joy of people getting together. And then think about the years since then and what has shifted. And so this is that, like, that childlike wonder again, right? That lightheartedness, and getting back to that. And it's not about wishing we were there. It's about taking action steps to be in that energy, right? To embody the energies, not want the energy, because then you're in a state of wanting. But it's like, I am happy. I am tapping into my inner child play. I am being creative. I am being imaginative, right? I am honoring my inner child, meaning if there's a place that I do not want to go as an adult, it might be because my inner child had an experience in some place that was feeling uncomfortable, and didn't and so the inner child in the adult doesn't want to continue to experience that. But now this goes back to like that courage card, right? Where it's like saying hi to 5 people. Well, maybe over the years someone became shy when they weren't shy because of how someone or some place made them feel. But then it's like, once you kind of face your fears and you move through them, right? You end up putting it behind you, right? And now you can observe it for what it was, which was a lesson. Okay, so we are going to go ahead to I'd like to use the Spirit of the Animals Oracle deck. And let's see what comes up here to help you on your journey. Now, all those other cards I did not keep in order. I'm just gonna set those aside. All right, so what do we have here? The swan, it speaks about grace. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty, right? Think about any times you have seen swans and how they do so elegantly and gracefully float along the water, right? And how they move their neck, right? Just very graceful and beautiful. And they're white, which speaks of purity. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. Okay, the next one we have, you guys. Okay, cat. It says independence. You are a natural healer. Your intention is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way, right? The independentness of cats, right? Okay. And look at how pretty these are. And they're all more in the white tones. That center one there on the bottom, it's like a Siamese. But again, white. Your independence. You are a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. Life supports you in every way, and you know this. Okay, what else do we have? We have the puffin, and it speaks about partnership. Accept yourself and your colorful personality. Feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Let your community nourish and protect you. Ask for help. Teamwork will give you the best results, right? So partnership, it does not all have to be in black and white. So being your brightest self, right? Okay. All right. The next one that we have is tiger, and it speaks of fire. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave, and mighty forces come to my aid. So we have one white tiger and one orange tiger here. I think one is called a snow tiger. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and take one more of these. Pronghorn, it speaks about action. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. Now is the time to act or to take action, which is interesting because in the tarot deck, fire, the element of fire is the element of wands, which are also about action, taking action, being unstoppable. What are you passionate about, right? So taking action in the direction of what you are passionate about. You can do this with grace. You can do this with independence, but I find it interesting that we have the cat that's independent, and then we have the partnership, and I have goosebumps on my right leg. So, when I think about us being like in the body of God, and it's like as individuals, like we're like little individual cells. So we have our own self, but we are part of the whole of God, right? So in partnership, so we can learn how to be in partnership and still learn how to be independent, right? Finding balance within that. Okay, on the bottom of the deck we have the raven and the raven or shaman. Okay, You are a creator and a magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as a keeper of the mysteries. Really lovely. You know, that's what crows are representative of, is mysticism, right? The mysteries of the world. So when you're seeing, you know, crows or ravens, pardon me, um, you know, that is that reminder of that, the mysteries of the journey. Okay, so that is interesting because that's on the bottom of the deck, which represents our subconscious, right? Okay, now we're going to go to angel numbers here. Okay. Saw that. Okay. There was a number that means something to me, and I saw it the second that I just did this, and then the number showed up. Okay, so what do we have under the Swan and Grace? Okay, 564, we have release drama. Serve your highest good. You are being asked to let go of something in your life that no longer serves your highest good. Your angels are validating that the situation or relationship is bringing you pain and a cycle of repetitive disruption. Your angels want you to lovingly reflect on who you are when you are with or without this situation or relationship in your life. Take a moment to pause and to do a full body stretch now. Release the energy that no longer serves you. Feel it and leave it, right? Release drama. So it asks us, and sometimes we may need to revisit a situation once we become aware of this situation. Like you go someplace and there's drama. You know, I say someplace, it could be with a person. Say you go out with a few people and there's drama. Whatever it is, right? It's just saying a relationship is bringing you pain in a cycle of repetitive disruption. So where is it time to let go of something? To let go of the drama and to step into grace, right? And what we give energy to expands. So when we back away from a situation or glide away gracefully, okay, getting goosebumps on my left leg, glide away gracefully to that which is for our highest and best. Sorry, I have some visitors maybe. Anyway, for that which is for our highest and best, then that will expand, right? Okay, the next one under the cat independent, which is what I'm watching here. 957, go forth. I just have to blow this out. I want to make sure they're safe. Okay. Okay, go forth. Stick with your decisions. And that's so interesting, right? With the cat. Independent. The choice you made is one you need to stick with. Your angels guard against vacillating any further. Wavering just delays the fulfillment of the bigger picture. Lie in meditation now with your hands on your solar plexus chakra. It's just above the navel. And repeat this mantra a few times until it begins to sink in. I am confident. So interesting with the cat, right? Think about any time you've been around cats and you know which cats are super confident, right? They're like, whatever, right? Okay, come here. We'll just do this.